Finding success on public land often comes down to getting more information before the hunt starts than the other guy, and that means scouting a lot. So I had been coming out for several weekends watching this group of bucks as they sparred with each other before they broke apart from their bachelor groups to start running.
That one behind me,
Yeah.
the one that I saw.
Yeah, he's nice.
Damn, he's bigger than this one.
He's taller for sure. While I did scout in other areas, this group of bucks was so consistent in where they wanted to be that I felt like it would be silly to not go after them on opening day. The only problem was that these bucks were hanging out in a spot that was visible from the road, and that meant that there was probably going to be a number of other hunters that knew about them. Despite my attempts to scare them and push them away from the road in hopes that they might hang out somewhere else, they kept coming back. So I knew that going into opening day, I was probably going to have to contend with some other hunters. So I tried to focus my efforts on learning how these bucks were using the area, how they were coming and going, so that I would have the advantage over the other hunters when opening day came around, and maybe, just maybe, I could kill them before they did. On opening morning, the deer were exactly where I expected them to be. The same place that they were the night before and every other time that I had been there. As the sun came up, we started spotting some deer. A doe here, a doe there, but we hadn't seen any bucks yet. Things were going as planned, except there was just one problem. We weren't alone. This gentleman, who will remain nameless for his sake, showed up and pulled the classic public land move. Since we knew that other people were going to be interested in these bucks, we showed up early. Really early. But this guy showed up 10 minutes before shooting time, insisting that he was going to hunt the same spot. I could go on a rant about hunter ethics and respect, but I'm going to leave that for another video. But suffice it to say that what this guy should have done is said, okay, you guys got here first, I'll go find something else. Nevertheless, we were still going to try. We had been collecting intel for weeks, and we felt like we really had the advantage here. Shortly after getting in position, one of the bucks showed up in the field. Unfortunately, our compadre on the other side of this field didn't seem to understand how wind worked, and he started moving in on the bucks on the upwind side. Pretty quickly, he caught the attention of the does, and they would not look away from the area where he was set up. Needless to say, our hunt was over before it really began. I guess we just had to go look for bucks in a different area. Alright, what's up everybody? It's day 2 on this hunt. Yesterday was kind of a dud. We didn't really see a whole lot of excitement. But it's a new morning. Today's approach is we're just gonna road hunt a little bit to start with, and then we're gonna probably go in off the road, see if we can find an area where people haven't been yet. First light, we saw some does in a pond, and just by the way they were acting, we had a feeling there was a buck with them.
Alright, let's start going.
Almost as soon as we started walking in to scope it out, we spotted a really nice buck. The only problem was that this particular area lacked cover. It was mostly short grass and a little bit of tall grass. And this meant that Tyson was going to have to crawl a long ways to get to where these deer were. Because of the lack of cover, I stayed further back to film from afar. This also gave me the ability to see things that Tyson couldn't see, like this doe that started moving into a direction that we had not anticipated. And while Tyson had lots of cover between him and the other deer, he had no cover from the side. So as this doe started moving down the side, I tried to get his attention, but it didn't work. Soon, the does spotted him crawling across the grass, and they knew something was wrong. So they got out of there, and the buck went with them. But he wasn't moving fast, and we decided maybe we could get out in front of him. So that's what we tried to do.
Yeah. It's like I said, you follow deer, you usually find more deer. Alright, so we just relocated a bunch of deer. I don't know if it's the same deer, but there's one, looks like a spike maybe, walking down this way, and there's a pile of does over here. We're just going to go up here to these oaks and get a better look. That's a buck under that tree.
Good.
Yeah. Looks legal. It's small, but it's legal. Yeah, we're nice and low right now. But I like all those little oak trees that are sort of speckled out around out there, because we can use those to our advantage. Ooh, I see a nice buck over there. It might be the same one, but I just got a good look at him. What? I already marked it. But yeah, mark it. This is definitely... Oh, there goes a deer. That's a little buck. Dude, he's a shooter. He's legal. He's a 6-point.
Okay.
Oh, he's an 8-point. Dude, he's not that worried about us. Here, give me my grunt. Or don't. All right, as soon as he gets behind these trees, we're gonna run. Okay. Just don't move. What's over there? All right, you ready? Go. He is going to follow the spike. I think we should grunt at him. We should grunt at him. Give me that grunt tube. Stand by. Get right here and give me that grunt tube. He's right there. He's not close right now. Alright, when I grunt, you stop moving, okay? Alright, don't move. He's gonna keep going that way. Alright. I don't know. We either try and get him to come to us, or we can loop around and try and get in front of him. He's heading away from us. Do you think we should back up and get around?
After creeping slowly, trying to get in front of these deer, we finally got to a position where we were downwind and in front of the buck and the doe. We found this clump of palm trees, which gave us perfect cover for us to get a shot if this buck kept up the same trajectory. For reasons we'll never understand, the doe suddenly decided that she wanted to check out this clump of palm trees and started walking straight towards us. We came as close as 3 yards, and we thought for sure that we were busted. And to our surprise, he turned at the last second and started walking away from us. A celebration was in order.
Bro, he fucking left.
But throughout this debacle, we lost track of the buck, and we weren't able to locate him again. So we decided to head towards where those other bucks had been spotted.
We finally caught up to those 2 bucks. They're not very big. There's a spike, and there's like a 6-point, or actually it looks like a small 8-point. And they are working their way towards the tip of this oak hammock that we're in. So we are slip through real slow, just real slow.
We spotted this buck and a small spike working their way along the edge of an oak hammock towards a perfect pinch point to ambush them. We started making our way over there and thought we were in a really good position to potentially kill one of these bucks. Unfortunately, we then soon after that saw these bucks running away across the field. We knew they hadn't seen us or smelled us, and we wondered what happened. And then we saw the herd of cows that had decided to move through that area and spooked the bucks. We were back to square one.
Hey, little guy. Run! Run! I don't know if I've ever seen a baby before. Hey guys, we have some sort of a plan. It's half baked, but I also feel like sometimes you gotta do things that other people wouldn't do because the deer are too used to what people will do. So we're we keep seeing a buck, a couple of bucks in this little field here, and it's hard to access with the way the wind is. So a lot of people probably maybe try, and the deer probably feel pretty confident that if somebody does try to approach them, that they would see it or hear it. And we're gonna sneak in a way that most people probably wouldn't do, and we're gonna get set up in there, and hopefully a buck's gonna come out and we'll already be in there and they won't have a clue. That's the plan. We just saw some deer. They came in, they smelled us right away. The only way this is gonna work is we gotta get on the side of this field. So once we're there, we should be pretty good. Just for that reason. But I think that's where they're gonna come from. Like I've seen, like when I saw that 7-point the other day, I've seen them several times come running right back and cut through there. We just gotta be like prepared for them. Yeah. We just gotta be prepared. Like they may come sneaking right through here, and like all of a sudden they're gonna be. The plan worked maybe a little too well. We had a doe with 3 fawns come walking right to us, maybe 5 yards.
If you've spent any time watching deer in the field, you can understand the level of paranoia that these animals have. Every few bites, every few seconds, they're looking over their shoulder for a potential predator or a rutting buck that wants to chase them away from their fawn. And that's exactly what we were seeing in these does. And shortly after that, we heard some turkeys start to putt, which is an alarm call indicating that something large is coming. But it wasn't the buck we were expecting.
It's gonna walk. No, we don't. He'll go away. Once it realizes we're here. Mark, we gotta move. There's a fucking panther looking right at us. Looking at us, I can't see it. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit.
Somehow, this panther must have gotten confused by the noises that we were making in this bush and thought that we were the deer that it was following. It started to stalk towards us and got to about 6 yards before it realized something was wrong. As it ran away, the doe started blowing to alert other deer in the area. We never thought that this noise would make a rutting buck in the area want to come and investigate, but that's exactly what happened. So you can imagine my surprise when I looked over the shoulder of my cameraman and noticed a large rack standing just 50 yards away.
Yeah, I'm videoing. He's chasing that doe. Hold on, he's moving around so that... He's sniffing that doe.
As soon as this buck and doe got out of sight, I had to make a move quickly to try to get in front of them. They were moving fast, so time was of the essence. Moved quickly from bush to bush, checking their location every time I got to a new piece of cover. If I didn't see them, or if their eyes were behind something, I continued to move. I was moving stealthily, and the deer had no idea I was there. But I made a mistake, right here. As I stepped out from this cover, I suddenly noticed that the buck was looking in my direction. I think he spotted me. I waited until he settled back down, and he started walking the same direction as the does again. I knew they were nearing the edge of this clearing, and if I was going to get a shot, I had to move quickly. As I moved to the next piece of brush, I suddenly realized that there's almost like a corridor behind this bush, and on either side there was tall brush. This allowed me to move quickly and stealthily in the same direction that this deer was going. I nocked an arrow, knowing that with every step I took down this corridor, I was getting closer to where that buck was going to cross, and I would have an open shot. With every step I took, I knew I was getting closer and closer to a 20-yard shot. I had my rangefinder in hand, and I was ready to draw back and shoot. All I needed was to spot those tines coming through the bushes on the right side. But as I approached where I expected he would be crossing, I didn't see him. I don't know what happened.